Hey guys, what's up? Come digging with me for a minute. I was thinking what would be a good record to do a blog about, just type something up real quick. And I thought of kind of a rare, unreleased, sort of, white label Krs-One one that I'm pretty partial to. So that would be a good one. So I went digging through my records here, and turns out it's actually not filed under Krs-One. He did a lot of indie stuff back in the days, between record labels or while he's on record labels like this, on his label Front Page, which I don't know if he owned it, but it's pretty much just him and his friends like Mad Lion. So anyway, though, it's not there. It's not under Krs-One, which means it's on one of those kind of random dub plate, kind of generic records. So this is actually going to take a bit of searching. So I thought I'd take you with me. We'll find the record, and then I'll actually do a proper video about it as opposed to just a text blog. Because actually it's kind of an interesting story. So let's look. If it's not under here, you're actually coming with me as I dig. I suspect it's going to be under X, some of those exclusive records, but it could be under hip-hop because there's lots of generic things like hip-hop collection and hip-hop history, So we're looking here under X's. You'll find it with me. Exclusive. Executioners. If I'm right about exclusive, then we're close. I know the word exclusive is spelled with an E, but a lot of this stuff was spelled like X-inclusive, so I promise you I'm not the fool. Although I've got some stuff misfiled because executioners should come before exclusive because that's XE, not XC. But anyway, here we go. Here's some exclusive stuff. So what have we got? Pull this out just to mark the place. Happy Birthday. That's the Krs-One one, but not the one I'm after. I actually got a whole separate 12-inch of Happy Birthday. Cypher Remix. I don't even remember some of these tracks. Alright, I'll put that one aside to go to later and visit later. Exclusive, that's Experado. Exclusives. I don't think this is it either. I think this is the one I got for Trigger the Gambler. Exclusives. Supreme Client. JB's. It's not it. Oh, this is going to be an ordeal. Now you know what life can be like for a hardcore record collector. I think when I put this record away later on, I'm going to file it under Krs-One. I got some under G Groove, I think, so let me see. Alright, now I got some under G Groove, I think, so let me see. That could be it, maybe. Here, start here. Groove Be Chill, that doesn't count. Yeah, here we go. What's this? Oh, well, look. Okay, this is something I did way back in the day when I was younger. I'd never do today. I wrote on the label. See, the songs are wrong. What's on the label here? It says, Look at the Front Door by Leaders of the New School. Obviously, Leaders of the New School didn't even do Look at the Front Door, but in this case, the song is Case of the PTA and all that. So I corrected it, but that's, because the songs are wrong. But I would never do that today. I would never write on a record label, especially not in, like, pen/marker ink. Anyways, it's not the record we're looking for. Under unreleased, I have at least one or two under unreleased. That I think could be it there. Unknown. See, I can tell these records just from looking at the backs of them. I think this is it, though. I think we found it. Here we go. Bada boom. We got more than one unreleased? No, that's not it. So maybe this one right here, I think this is it. Unreleased. Volume, wada. Crazy white label. Krs-One, Trigger the Gambler, yes. Not the right Krs-One, but that's Krs-One. Oh, it's actually not it. Alright, keep looking. Pretty sure it's not any of those Killer Cuts ones. I got a couple under Hop. Yeah, here we go. This could be it. This could be it. One thing I've learned, I'm going to change how I organize some of these records here. Anything, these got to go under, like, I can't just stick these under the title like I've been doing. I'll never find stuff. Let me see. Hop. Chubrock, that's how it is. Can't nobody hold me down. It's not that one. Escobar, Party Don't Stop. Life, that's Chubrock. Games, that's Chubrock. Chanel Number Fevering Up. Okay, it's not Hop either. Keep looking. Don't worry, guys. I promise this record's going to be worth it. I'm thinking Club had some titles, maybe. Like Club Jams, Club Rockets is Common Sense. Before that, it's harder going through while actually holding the camera. Cloud Dead, so Club Bangers, yes, yeah, maybe No, this is the one I got because I had the original version of Eminem's Renegades with Roycified 9, but say Jay-Z, but no, this is not it. Alright, so I gave you guys a break and kept digging. It took a sort of an embarrassingly long time, but I went through, some of these, like old school hip-hop, I knew it would be under that, because old school, it's not going to be called old school. It's not an old school song. I thought I really found it with these Too Damn Funky ones. I had a bunch of these, I'm like, oh, it's definitely on Too Damn Funky. No, it wasn't on Too Damn Funky. I eventually checked some double kill cuts, even though I was pretty sure it wouldn't be on there. This was an interesting one only because they actually made a sleeve to go with their kind of bootleg label thing. But eventually, anyway, I found it right here. Never Released Records. Ba-ba-bum, Life of a Shorty, da-da-da. Started step right there at the end. That's the Krs-One. What I Know, street version. So yes, What I Know, a Krs-One. But actually, real quick, while we're looking at it, just in case you guys are wondering, hit up what the other songs are. Life of a Shorty Mix 1 and Mix 2, they're just two different versions of Life of a Shorty by Lil Vicious, which was back when Lil Vicious was really in under Dougie Fresh's wing. So it's featuring Dougie Fresh and produced by Dougie Fresh, and also features Shyheim on both versions, and then they got the acapella. And then Studded Step, of course, is Biz Markie, and I'm not going to say much about that because I think someday I'm going to do a whole video about that record, but also features the instrumental. And then finally there at the end, the album version, which is sort of a mistelling label because it's not on any albums, Krs-One's What I Know. And I kind of like this small print here along the bottom. Not so easy to read, and I'm sure you can't read it from where you are. Here. Does this help? You almost needed to see it. It's basically saying that, this is sort of legal because this record is part of a DJ and club subscription series. It's not meant to be sold for commercial use, which, of course, how well that held up. I obviously bought it for $4.99. I think this is a Beat Street sticker, or maybe Sound of Market in Philly. I don't know. Wherever I bought it in the mid-90s, and I bought it in the store, which is how it was sold. Pretty not too hard to find if you went to the right kind of spots. So anyway, Krs-One's What I Know. I just said it was not on an album, but to be fair, it was intended to be on an album. Specifically, it was intended to be on Krs-One's second album. Now, when I say his second album, of course, he had already done a whole slew of albums as Boogie Down Productions. But I'm talking about his second album, mid-90s, where he dropped the Boogie Down Productions and just was putting out albums as Krs-One. He had Return of the Boom Bap, and then his second album, self-titled, which is an odd kind of place in your career to stick a self-titled album, but that's the one. So it's this album right here. But of course the song is not actually on this album. It was dropped before this final version came out. So how do we even know it was meant to be on here for sure? Well, what else came in 1995? Rap magazines, and rap magazines included reviews. Blam, like this one, Krs-One's Hip Hop vs. Rap. What? Oh, I guess that was meant to be the original title of the album, which makes a little more sense than just self-titled, again, for your second album. But anyway, in this review, it specifically brings up, it references a bunch of the songs and gives the album, what does it give it? 4 out of 5 mics. And they reference a song called What I Know, which was not on the album, but hey, here it is on this white label 12-inch. I'll read the segment for you. A Diamond D Supply track brings What I Know, which speaks on the taught history of brutality against blacks from 1906 to the present. Krs knocks you not and schools you at the same time. So that's all it says about the song, but what do you expect? It's just a small portion of a not particularly deep review. But it does tell us Diamond D produced the track, although even that's not really mind-blowing information, because even though this 12-inch gives us no production credits, Krs-One shouts out Diamond D by name in the middle of the song, so that makes it pretty clear already. We were pretty certain that Diamond D produced it. Real quick while we're here, though, it's worth pointing out that this review also makes mention of 2 other Krs-One songs that are meant to be on this album that are actually not on the album. One called Natural, which they say is about God and Jesus, and one called Give Me Relief, which they kind of refer to as Stop the Violence of the, 1995. So it's interesting that sort of all the really sort of knowledgeable, intense, edutainment type songs that, Krs-One really kind of is known for were left off of this album, and we're left with more of the yes, the build your skills with Busta Rhymes and that kind of stuff. Rappers Are in Danger, which Rappers Are in Danger is a great track and all that. I'm not dissing those, but it's interesting that what kind of tracks were removed from this album and what kind were left on. Of course, I'm going to play you a clip of it, so I'm not going to get too heavy into what the content of the song is. Like the review says, it is definitely, you know, it's a real, again, it's a real kind of edutainment track that's as much as, even more so perhaps than like You Must Learn, where he really comes and starts talking about historical facts. You know, he's giving you historical dates and everything, and he's making a point. It's all about sort of violence against black in Africa and then later in America. And as he says at one point in the song, you know, I'm giving you these facts so not to hate, you know, but just to sort of reevaluate your life and the culture and the system that we're in. So it's actually a pretty, you know, compelling and very intelligent song all around. It's got a really very kind of cool, subtle track. It's very much driven by this super deep bass line. I mean, it's not quite, you know, I mean, it's not like Magic Mike deep, but it is in the sense that it's really this kind of sonic fake sound in a way, I guess I would say. It doesn't sound like it's a bass guitar or, you know, any kind of bass sound. Like, it really sounds like it's just a doop, doop, you know, like this really kind of fake, impossible sound. It's got some bells and kind of sounds in there that are a little bit more familiar over classic breaks. So, but it's really simple, and it's really just there, you know, to emphasize, to not detract from what Krs-One is saying, because clearly this is a song that's, the lyrics are the most important thing. But the track does sound really dope, and it's actually surprisingly addictive. When you first hear it, you might be like, meh, whatever, you know. Again, it's just there to, I guess, emphasize the lyrics. But, you know, you put the song away, and some time's passed, you know, that bass line and all kind of come right back in your head, and you want to hear it again. So it really works on all levels. It's a really solid, I would say a surprisingly good Diamond D track. And again, one of Krs-One's best, certainly of this era, maybe one of his best, period. You know, sometimes maybe the edutainment stuff can get a bit preachy, but it doesn't here. It really just sort of feels like he's telling you stuff. It's forceful, it's, you know, impactful, it's important, but it's not, you know, necessarily telling you how to live, and it doesn't get too, you know, heavy-handed. So it's sort of just right in the sense it's really strong, kind of militant, but without getting preachy. So there you go, what I know. I absolutely think this is worth tracking down. I got this, you know, way back when it first came out in the 90s. At that time, I didn't even necessarily realize it was meant for his album. At that time, as I said before, Krs-One was putting out a whole bunch of indie stuff, so I didn't know if it was just one of those tracks that was going to be either I had missed a 12-inch on front page, or it was just something he was going to put out himself but didn't, or what it was. So it wasn't kind of until later that I kind of went back and realized from that review, oh hey, what I know, that's what this is. Because I had the magazine back in the day. I actually had a subscription back in those days, but I guess it just, you know, I never made the connection. But anyway, so I absolutely recommend tracking down this song. As far as I know, this is the only release of it. Obviously, this is not a legit release, despite their little club subscription notice. It is a bootleg, so if you can find any other bootleg, it's just as justifiable. You know, it's not like you're supporting the artist. I mean, it's a 20-year-old record anyway, but even if it was, you're not even supporting the artist, you know, it's just not a legit record, it's a bootleg. But, you know, it's a dope bootleg, it's worth getting, it's worth tracking down. I believe this is the only vinyl, bootleg or otherwise, that includes this track. Always nice to have Side to Step. Life of a Shorty, frankly, hasn't aged all that well, and it wasn't really all that great to begin with, but it's not terrible.
What I know is that stuff's gotta go. Watch me freak this flow, yo. Come on, yeah. What I know is that stuff's gotta go. Watch me freak this flow, yo. Check it out now. When you become serious about your hip hop, let me know and I'll freak a flow that shows you the way to go. Unlike others, what they saying is irrelevant. Why Krs-One appeals more to the intelligent. On January 30th, 1906, 3,000 Africans were killed by some Brits. They don't quit. British troops, to be exact, is called the Bambata Massacre. This took place in South Africa. May 4th, 1978, they're still killing 700 African men, women, and children. Tell the world I told you. This particular killing took place in Kasinga, Angola. But wait, there's others. White Democrats murder 60 more African brothers. This took place in Louisiana, and it's called the Krs-One Massacre. Know your history. What I know is that stuff's gotta go. Watch me freak a flow, yo. Come on now. What I know is that stuff's gotta go. I'll freak a flow, yo. I'll freak a flow, yo. I resemble the herbal when I'm in your mental. I go in gentle, never beginning or ending like a circle.
So definitely definitely an underrated joint from the Blastmaster. I don't know if it would quite be like a greatest hits kind of joint, right up there with the very best of Boogie Net Productions, but it's pretty close. It's one of his strongest tracks. I really enjoy it. And it's really a shame it wasn't on this album. I think this album would have been stronger for it. I think it would have gotten more attention for having kind of the strong political messages on there. I'm really disappointed for a number of reasons that it wasn't on this album. But at least it was on this. It was on something. So track it down, pick it up. It's worth it. I haven't seen it on Discogs or anything. I haven't seen any mention of the song on Discogs, but here it is. Absolutely existed. Never released records. Not quite so never released.